It's the Deep for the Week talk show. Are you ready to talk? Let's get deep for the week. Hello, and thank you for joining us on the Deep for the Week show. I'm your host, Kali, and thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I got to ask you that every single time. And if you have some input, please feel free to comment below. We love to hear back from you. Now, today's show is on finding love on social media. Would you try it? Have you tried it? Do you think it's possible? Just what overall? Is that the new way of finding love with our busy schedules? So let's talk about it. Let's get deep, you guys. I have a guest today, and let her introduce herself. I also have some experience with social media and dating, but let's get deep with another guest. I want to hear someone else's input and how it went for them. I've had two relationships on social media, and the previous one and the one I'm currently in. The one that I was in previously, it ended on social media, and it was a huge joke. And I made a joke out of it right where it started on social media. So I cut up. Okay. But this one that I'm currently in, I'm engaged now, and it is a relationship.
Awesome.
We're gonna be real with y'all today. Okay.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can give you guys some hope and give you guys some insight on what it's like to date on social media. So what's your name?
My name is Kalila. Hi, everyone.
Hello, and thank you for
Yes,
joining us. And thank you for your time
my
today.
pleasure. My pleasure.
So where are you from?
I'm originally from California. Now I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. We know here in Atlanta, in Georgia, they call everything Atlanta. So you can live in Marietta, you can live in Alpharetta, and they'll still say it's Atlanta. But I live Metro Atlanta area. So yes, I've been here for about 7 years. I'm relocated from California in 2017. So I've been here since then.
Okay. And you don't have to tell us how old you are, but like approximately like, what year were you born? What kind of baby are you? 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000?
I'm an 80s baby. I'm
Okay,
an
okay.
80s baby.
Same
And I'm
here.
not shaming my age. I'm 37.
Okay, you're
And
beautiful. You look good for your age.
thank you. I'm 37. I'll be 38 in November. So next month I'll be 38.
Okay. So we're gonna get right to it. So what
Okay.
social media site did you meet your guy on?
Yes.
Or
So
was it a social media site or was it a dating?
no, it was definitely social media, and it was actually Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was where we at? We're 2024. So this was 2019. And I began to do like just different social media content. I was in a whole different page and chapter at that point of my life. It's definitely not where I'm at now, but we know that God works every chapter. He uses everything. But 2019, I was just in a different place. To be honest, we talking deep, being transparent. I was in a very dark place, to be honest. I was in a broken place spiritually. And I was on Instagram, I was doing like the BBW vixen type deal and modeling lingerie and just doing things I had never done before, but it had stemmed from heartbreak and it has stemmed from having broken relationships and dating and men playing mind games. And it's not all men, but the men that I was coming in contact with. And with me, I had never been like in the dating field like that. So when I moved to Atlanta, and I opened myself up to the dating field, it was like a whole new world. So it was like I was a baby going out there in Atlanta. Atlanta is no joke.
I'm
you
hearing, I've
you
heard.
got to be ready. Okay.
Okay.
You got to have, you got to be armored in God to be in the dating field here. Okay. Like the dating field here is very challenging.
Yeah, I've
Um,
heard.
Yes, very tricky, very I thought you was my man, but you really got one. Thought you was
Listen, I heard come to Atlanta with a man. That's
yeah. Yeah, thought you was gonna go to church with me on Sunday, but you really was sleeping with the drummer in the church. Like
Ooh.
just it's just a lot here. You know what I'm saying? But it was like I was in a grown woman body, you know what I'm saying? This 31-year-old that hadn't been exposed to much because I committed a lot of my life to the church. So when I got in that spiritually dark place and I was just like, I'm gonna do me. Okay. I was broken. I'm like, look, I need me a man. Okay. Ain't nobody looked my way in 18 years. Okay. Ain't nobody breathed on me. Ain't nobody, because like I said, I was in California. And
Okay.
California dating is totally different from dating in the Midwest and the South. Midwest and South, they like women with meat on their bones.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
black women.
Yes, ma'am.
California, they want the Chicanos and all of that. No shade to
Exactly.
anybody.
Yeah.
But so it was just like it was a lot of things happening. And so I had started, like I said, just modeling lingerie and trying to do this plus size body positivity thing. But I was so toe up on the inside. But anyway, my now husband, Christopher Warren, he actually, I don't know how we connected. I don't know how. I know that with him, he's always been attracted to plus size women, but I don't know how we started following each other on Instagram. And he had kind of like reached out to me a little bit. And I had went on his page, somebody reach out to you, of course you're gonna go to their page and see what they talking about.
Get to pushing that
And
picture to the side. Let me look and see.
yeah, let me see what he on. Okay, let me make sure he don't have no man. Um, so I went on his page and I was like, okay, because with me, I've always been attracted to men that wear glasses, kind of got like that computer geek look type deal. And he had that. He seemed very pleasant, but I was just like, he's not thug enough for me. That's where I was like in that chapter, right? And I was just like, and then I had asked him how old he was, and he was like younger than me. And I was just like, nah, he seemed like I'm good. Cause I was like wilding out for real. And years passed by. So that was 2019. So a couple years actually had passed by. And then I went through a total metamorphosis spiritually. And I just really began to, just allow God to clean my heart, clean my mind up. And I went like on this detox. I went on a physical detox, spiritual detox. And he had told me just through conversation, you see somebody's story, within that gap of time where we weren't communicating because I wasn't really interested. And he had put up a post about him moving to Georgia because he's originally from Florida.
Okay.
So he put up a post about him moving to Georgia and he was looking for work and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, let me inbox you. And you still there? Okay. Yeah. So let me just inbox you and, give you some pointers and stuff like that. Cause I had already been here, in Georgia. And he came and I had invited him to like a little party at the time and we lost touch again. And then fast forwarding to, like I said, when I was going through this whole new metamorphosis. And he had asked me to go like on a coffee date. And I had kind of like, no, I ain't really, And then one day I was just kind of like, you know what? Let me check in on him and see how he's doing. By this time, I had deleted numbers. I had surrendered my life and my heart back to God. I had, because this was like 2021, 2022. Well, 2021. And, well, the end of 2020. So it was like a year, almost 2-year gap right there. And, I was just like, he's the first man that actually wasn't like, when we gonna link? It was more so like, let's go get coffee. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, you know what? He seems really nice. The conversation was good. And yeah, so we went ahead and we conversed a little bit. And we wind up meeting December in face to face, December of 2020.
So
We
about
met.
a year after you met.
On Instagram. So
Yeah.
I want, you know
That was
what?
one
Let
of
me
my
take that
questions.
back.
How long did you take to see him for the first time was one of my questions.
Oh, okay, so we started communicating, conversing like seriously on the serious tip. Like, let's go ahead and connect. It was only a couple weeks. It
Okay.
wasn't nothing extreme. Cause like I said, he had been like kind of, trying to like get my attention or whatever, but I had already made up in my mind and I want to apologize because the timeline was wrong. We actually got connected on Instagram in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So that because we didn't actually meet in person till like a year and a half, 2 years later.
Okay.
So yeah, December of 2020 is when him and I connected.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you so what so he you explained basically he got at you and so you guys text and
Mhm.
called each other for about a year before you actually connected. And so how was that first interaction? How did you feel? Was it comfortable? Were you like, how was it?
You talking about physically? Like
Yeah,
when we
like when you
physically
actually first seen each other, how did you feel?
so
Did
when we
he look
first
like the profile pictures? No.
he looked when I opened the door, I was like, oh my gosh, he looked like his pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't a catfish. And with you and I, we've been friends on social media for a while. So I don't know if you remember my dating stories. Like I don't know if we were connected when I would tell these horrid dating stories about being catfish. I would toothfish, catfish. Went on a date with a man. He took his teeth out at the table. All in Atlanta now.
I remember you posted something about I thought you were just joking because
No. I had linked up with a guy in Atlanta, girl, and
I think
I
I
kept
remember that, and I was like, "She got it. She is so funny."
listen. I had linked up with this guy from the Marines in Atlanta. This was before Chris, and he was a handsome guy, and he kept sending me pictures of himself. I'm to find out these pictures was like years old.
Oh
And
my
I kept wondering why when we were talking, he was always laying down. He was laying on his stomach. Like I never seen him like get up and bust a move. And we go link up and he come out the house and his whole entire back is broke. I'm talking about he walking in a circle. Like his whole spine was just patoo. It was done.
God, you was like,
Yes. And so with me, with my kind heart, oh, I don't want him to feel bad. Let me just the man we wind up linking up. He had got sloppy drunk. He had an accident in my bed. Accident meaning urine accident. Like it, I had some, yeah.
so I just give up if it's gonna be. Oh my god.
Yes. So I am just grateful. But yes, when I first seen him, I was just like, he's really handsome. He was tall, dark, he had the broad shoulders, physique like I liked. And I was like, he's so kind. Like I felt very comfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. I didn't feel intimidated. Um, I did have thoughts because it was a process to get to where we are now, of course. But I was still kind of like, he's younger than me. Like I was stuck on that.
How much
I was stuck.
younger?
Chris is 8 years younger than me.
Okay, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. See, you know what? I think we women need to be more open to that. I think we miss
Yeah.
out on a lot of opportunities when it comes to love,
Yes.
with that and height.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When we talk about height, and I have so many girlfriends that I adore and they're single, and I'm just praying, and believing that they will run into that man will, find them, but they standards. And I was one of those. I was one of those. That's why it was so hard in the beginning because I mean, this man was lavishing me with love. He was treating me like I had never been treated before. You know what I'm saying? Bringing me roses and candles and just shedding so much love on me. And I was still like, he too young. He too young. And it wasn't like he was acting really young. Now there was things in the beginning that I was more mature in because I had more experience. But so far as the things that a lot of women deal with, the cheating, the just the toxicity, different things, none of that. And I was still stuck. in that standard, like you said, height, age. You know, now if the man, if you 40 and he 17, something 20, that's you taking it too far, in my opinion,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But I was just still stuck at the fact that he was younger than me. And I was just like, it's a lot to me he had to learn. And I was just naming off so many things, but he was everything that I could have wanted and needed. And I didn't realize that in the beginning, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. And clearly you were the same for him.
Yes.
So you clearly you felt safe with him
Hmm.
when you guys started to interact. And so what was some of y'all trying times, your most trying times so far since meeting?
Good. Awesome question. So we have had a few trying times. Um, but I would say the one that sticks out the most, well, I can name two. When we were actually, which I didn't really know, but we were about to transition from boyfriend and girlfriend to fiance, you know, and him proposing, it was like a process of getting us to align. And with him, like I said, he's 8 years younger than me. So there was things he wanted me, but he was still trying to gain that confidence that he would be able to handle that, if that makes sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so with men, at least from the men that I've talked to and what I've seen, they just feel like they have to be at a place, which is good to a certain extent. But sometimes they feel like they need this to just, they want to give you the world before they give you the world, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And so that was a process, because I was just like, we've been dating for about 3 years, so what we finna do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you gotta.
Women my age don't date this long.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s, and then some people were very opinionated. Like, we went through a period where I had family members that were very opinionated. Um, Secretly, they thought it was a secret, but I knew, because God revealed certain things to me
Mm.
anyway. And mind you, this was my first relationship since I was 19. So I had been single 15 years. And it was like a shock to everyone's system, because here it is, Kalila, the funny one, the one who you gonna come to for prayer, the one who is always the third wheel, the one who's encouraging her other friends, going to weddings, doing their makeup, and then it came to my time.
Mm.
So a lot of things was a process, and it was even a process for me. It was a challenge for me to be able to receive that.
Yeah.
But the other challenge for us last year was a very, like, immediately after we got engaged, we, by faith, we dropped everything and decided to go to CDL school. And we got to the CDL school after being denied so many different times. We were approved by a school, then all of a sudden they denied us. And then like, he gave up his job, I gave up mine, and we went to the school and everything was a flop. So we actually came back to Atlanta with nothing.
Mm.
No money, no house. My car was breaking down, homeless. This was just last year.
Mm.
And we had to thug that out together. And while still trying to hold on to planning a wedding. We went through a lot of family betrayal, being publicly bashed and slandered. There's a lot of intensity last year. A lot of financial hardships, not knowing where we were going to live, sleeping in the car. And here we are a year later, we have a 3-bedroom house, 2 cars. We both have jobs. We both are moving forward, and we're married.
Congratulations.
And last year it was just Girl, I'm telling you, it was nothing but God. Like, it was just very rough. Like, even to the point where it tried to bring a wedge between us. And that's why so many people will say, and this is even for you, people that are engaged, people that are married, are in relationships, do not allow outside influences to afflict what you have inside, because a lot of times the family that we came from will try to annihilate and destroy the family that you're supposed to birth.
I'm telling you, it's
And
so
I
sad.
did not know the truth of that until last year, when what was supposed to be the most beautiful time of my life, the enemy tried to do absolutely everything to destroy it, but it didn't work, and
Yeah.
it never will. So today, we stand tall as the Warrens. And I love him. When I tell you my spiritual rock, like, Chris is very calm, cool, collective, quiet, reserved, but he's so full of wisdom, you know. And yeah, so that was one of our most challenging times.
And I think that was good to experience in the beginning because you can get through anything now.
Yeah, it was.
And
Yeah.
I mean, as bad as it was good. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
So what did y'all, if I may ask, what did y'all do for a living before we quit your jobs?
So with me, and I think you know this, so I'm a makeup artist. So I have that business as well as my hair distribution business. And then I was just doing what I've always been doing for about the last 15 years, which is like call center management, sales. And with him, he was working as a security guard. Um, so yeah, that's what we were doing prior.
Now, I think I know the answer to this. I might be wrong,
Mhm.
but does any of you, this is for the viewers, do any of you have kids?
No,
Okay.
no
So
children, not yet.
so you guys gonna plan to have children? Because you had a beautiful wedding, so you good
Yeah.
to have kids now. So are y'all planning to have kids?
We are Chris told me he won't fall. I said, who do you think you married? You think you married somebody that's 19, 20?
You
No.
better give him his double set of twins, girl.
You married old Meredith. You married a lady named Meredith on the inside. No, but no, like I said, God, I could do twins, one hit a quitter.
Yeah.
One hit a quitter. And then I had to get past that. I had to get past I've just been through so much spiritually. Like, I had to get past being upset at God because I didn't get married until my mid 30s. You know what I'm saying? My late 30s, because all my friends was getting married in their 20s. A lot of my friends are still not married. But and that's fine. It's not the end all be all. It's whatever God has for you. But I was just like, we in society, it's so many different pressures. You got pressure to be this age. You got pressure if you don't have a child by 35, something wrong with you. If you don't, it's just so many different voices.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of what we had experienced. Like, oh, y'all 8 years apart. How he gonna do this? How you gonna do this? Oh, you better hurry up, because if you don't have a child by the time you 36, I'm going. And God, like, hold on, I'm the king of this ship.
Okay.
So I anointed you to be a mother. So if I say you're going to be a mother at 39, that's what you're going to be. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And then, so with me, I encourage myself. My husband encourages me. Baby, Ashanti is 43 years old. She just had a beautiful son.
That part. I'm
Nothing wrong
seeing
with the baby.
women on TikTok that's my age talking about my mom is pregnant. I said, what?
Yeah.
And women are I don't know what's in the food, but I said, let me stop eating. But women in their 60s getting pregnant, so it is never too late if that body is
It
full.
ain't too late, but honey, 60, that's a stretch. Okay. Well, I don't want my baby coming out looking like Benjamin Button. Okay. I want my baby he got to have all his he or she
Okay,
all his
listen.
functions. But if you don't mind me asking your age, so you graduated 4 years before me. So you're what, 41, 42?
I just turned 42 on the 2nd of last month.
And then we have to understand that's not old. Like that's another thing society is doing. Oh, girl, you 41, you up. No, I'm not. I'm not old.
You as old as you feel.
You
In my
literally like it's mental, spiritually, emotional. It has nothing to do. Like I said, we look at Ashanti 43, Holly Berry, like all of these women.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson, I think I don't remember how old she was.
I think she was all 50 already when she had her baby.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah, but I think so.
yeah, God graced us with 70 plus years on this earth. That's 30 years but we just it's so many different pressures. Like I said, we just get caught up in this time frame. And it's just like our wedding slogan was Warren was worth the wait. Because I waited a long time. You know what I'm saying? I waited a long time to have a man, and for God to give me a man that genuinely loves me. I mean, I could be walking around here looking like Holiday Heart, and that man's still gonna say, "Come on, let me rub your feet."
That's I love that for you. That's great. So you dated for how long before you actually like introduced him to your mom and stuff? Like how long?
Okay, so Chris and I were probably dating. Trying to think of the timeline because I was living in that. I would say it was probably a few months. It wasn't like right away. And when she first met him, because she was at my house, and well, no, she wasn't at my house. He was coming to my house because I was gonna cook. I was cooking, and my mom wind up coming, and she circled. Wait, hold on, let me get the story right. So this is what happened. My mother was there to see my new house, and excuse me, she had to leave. And then he was on the way. So I was just like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted you to meet Chris. So she wound up circling back around. And when she came back, we walked outside. And soon as she seen him and he opened his mouth and started talking to him, she was like, Kalila, I like him for you.
Aww.
It is. You seen my mom. Like, she has a very loving but strong personality.
Yeah, she seems like she's transparent as well. Like she'll tell you like, I don't mean no harm, but baby, I don't like that color on you.
Yes, very transparent.
Yeah.
And so when he opened his mouth, we were standing like by her car, hand in hand, and her spirit leaped. Like he said, I miss what did he call her? He said Miss Frazier. That's not her last name. But he called her Miss Frazier. He said, Hi, Miss Frazier, how are you? Because he's very proper. He speaks very proper. And she leaped. She said, Oh my gosh, Kalila, I like him for you.
Aww.
And when she said that, I was like,
Okay.
Yeah, what you trying to like? Like it was just different. It was different. And so yeah, so I would say it wasn't that long. It was like a few months.
Have you guys ever broke up?
Girl, for 24 hours. It ain't never been nothing. It ain't never been nothing extended. But when we first started dating, because I had been single for so long, oh my gosh, I broke up with him every week. And then the next day, I was just like trying to side back around and be like, I was just mad or whatever. Like it was just, yeah. But no, we haven't. We've never been apart more like so far as like, oh, we broke up. It's never been over, I would say 48 hours. Never. Yeah.
When he asked you to marry him, how did it go? Where was y'all at? Because I didn't see you post that. I don't know if I missed that, but did you post it?
So he didn't do anything publicly. He told me, okay, so we had a New Year's Eve party that we had went to because he proposed to me February 18th of 20.
That is crazy. That's the same day I got engaged.
Really?
I promise you.
Oh my God. So yep, February 18th.
About that day. And I met my dude in 2019. But yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, so February 18th of 2023. And so in December 31st, he had told me that he was going to do it in front of my family there at the New Year's Eve party. But he's very introverted. He's very reserved, which is another thing I had to really get used to, because I was like, Lord, in the beginning, I'm like, Lord, what is this? You know, I'm like, so I'm extrovert, introvert, but I'm mostly extrovert. So when we first started dating, I was just like, what? Why he always in the house? Like, it was just awkward to me. I thought he was like depressed or something. So I would be calling him. I'd be like, you all right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need me to bring you some medicine or something, because I'm not understanding
Then
what's
you
going
come outside.
You got a post? I just need to know. Like, we are dating, but he's so different now. So different. But he's still introvert. So, but yeah, so he actually took me to Orlando, Florida. He's from Florida. And we had we was there for a few days. But anyway, as soon as we got to the hotel, I knew something was kind of up, because he was kind of like jittery. Like, he was acting a little different. Like, oh no, just go up to the room, da 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 da. So when we got to Orlando, in February 18th, and we got settled in the room, and he told me to close my eyes, and he had the wedding ring. Well, he had the wedding ring. And he got down on one knee. He was sweating. He was nervous. And he asked me to marry him.
Aww.
So, yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So ours was very intimate. My mom knew. One of my good friends, she knew. His mom and his sister, they knew. So a handful of people knew.
So he asked your mom first if he can.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So he chose to do it, with just us two,
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he was more comfortable that way. And you said he still was nervous with just y'all. So
he still was nervous, but that's the way that he chose to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after doing all this, what do you have to say about dating someone that you met on social media? Like, what's your advice?
So I just want, because I know this is going to be aired. So I know that, I've seen posts where people have said the dating pod or got pee in it, and it's rough. It just is, because social media is our main portal now. You know what I'm saying? You got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, TikTok. And when I was in that dating scene, in that dating world, it's a lot of people that just don't have pure hearts. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They play a lot, very vindictive. When you see a man 9 times out of 10 and he just got a whole bunch of women on his friends list, to me, that's a red flag.
Oh, man.
Extreme red flag. I talk to men like that, and like I said, I was just very much so in a wild place before I met Chris. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went through a season where I was being just very promiscuous. Like, there was different things that I had opened myself up to. So I want to encourage a lot of women, like, first of all, present yourself a certain type of way for what you want to be drawn to you, and obviously be spirit led too, because there's so many different scams. You have a man that's in your inbox saying, hey, even saying, hey, for a year. You know what I'm saying? You respond back, and he don't have much to talk about, so I know it's a challenge. And I've talked to women, and this is for men too, where they feel like it's like a needle in a haystack, but I would just encourage everyone, because it's possible. A lot of people, you met yours online, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's real. It's real life, because these are real people. But then you have so many people that say behind a computer or on their phone, and they're playing games.
Yeah. So, because the thing is, you're so wide open. You don't realize you show so much of yourself on social media.
That's true.
The men that are prayers, that are praying on women, they have, they can see so much, like, so they know exactly where to go with you, to get you. They love bomb
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ones
Yeah.
that are doing
Yeah.
that. The
Hmm.
ones that, like you mentioned, have a whole bunch of women on their
Yes.
list.
Lots of, so definitely look for those flags, look for those red flags, but also as women, don't have so much of a high standard.
Mhm.
Um, and then another thing is key. If he's just asking you when he can come over, that's a no. In my opinion, in my book, if you trying to go to the next level, and really find true love, find that husband material, the first couple conversations should not be you trying to get to come to my house.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't even feel like what y'all did in the setting of what y'all
Yeah.
did, like, in a public, I would not feel comfortable until
Hmm.
maybe a couple of times inviting you into my
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
anyway. And so
Yeah.
someone that wants you to be so comfortable with that's
Hmm.
awkward. Like, what type of females you used
Yeah. Yeah.
to, you know?
And yeah, and actually, like, even if y'all have like a meetup at the house, it shouldn't be led sexually first.
Exactly.
That's just me. Like, if y'all just gonna sit and have tea or whatever, you know what I'm saying, Netflix and chill, like, you just want to make sure that you're gravitating towards what you desire.
Hmm.
And it was only by God's goodness that Chris was good enough of him, because when we first met, I was still, you know what I'm saying, going through my metamorphosis. And in the midst of our relationship, because we go from different places, we change. And
Especially
so,
women.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we go through changes that we don't even understand. Like,
yeah,
at
that's
this
true.
age too,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So when I started telling him, like, I know, because we went through a period of abstinence where I was just like, I want to go back to church and different things like that. And at first he was like, huh? But when you have that person who really wants to ride it out with you, that's what they will do. And you guys can find a middle ground. But we just want to make sure that we're opening ourselves up to the right things.
yeah.
I see a lot of women, especially in the plus size industry, that all they do is show their bodies. That's it. And I remember being like that, because at the root of you, you don't believe that a man can love you without seeing all of that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of women like that. They'll say this confidence, they'll say that it's body positivity, but honey, no, it's not. It's really not. Because you can be a body positive person and still be fully clothed. I
Yeah.
don't have to see your titties for me to know that you body positive. Make it make sense. And I
Mhm.
only can speak on it because I lived it.
Yeah.
And I know where I was at that point. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I was drenched in lust, a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like I said, you gotta position yourself for the blessing. So for people that are looking to date online or are dating online, just make sure that you are being prayerful and that you are looking for those red flags, looking for the green flags,
Do
and just
not
weighing
ignore them.
options. Yeah.
Do not ignore them because you're so lonely and you're so excited. That's
Hmm.
a lot of women, they go through that. They've been single for years, close to
Yes.
a decade, and they finally get that attention, that
Yeah.
love that they want,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
they think they want. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, just take it slow. But
Hmm.
I'm that your story it was great because it seemed like you did take it slow. Like, my story, on the other hand, we took it very fast. We even had
Okay.
a child together. That's 3. So within like
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. So within like months I was
Oh wow. Okay.
but it was like, we met during, it was COVID was going on
COVID.
during that
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
with my relationship, I met him on social media. He was in Houston. I was here.
Okay.
He visited me once. Now this is,
Hmm.
I can't say I didn't always want to try this, but I didn't think I would actually do it. But I seen him once.
Okay.
And he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I worked at a club. He was like, "Yo, all the clubs are shutting down. Come here so I can take care of you and your
Uh-huh.
time my 2 children, and I was like, no,
Mhm.
at the time I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I closed my lease, went down there, and we've been together ever since. So we seen each other once, and by the second time we was moving in together. Now I do
Wow.
not
Recommend it.
no, because that is like that's the best way to get to know each other. I mean, and we're going through like a pandemic, so we lost jobs, we gained jobs, we lost money, we
Mhm.
gained money.
Mhm. Mhm.
Something like yours, we went through the
Yep.
struggle first.
Yeah.
The honeymoon was not first at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, so it's not for the weak, you know what I'm saying? So
It's
if you don't
not.
do it, I mean, I really don't say, it's for everyone, but
Mhm.
be optimistic, be
Yeah.
optimistic. And like she said, look for the red flags. Make sure
Yeah.
that you're honest with yourself about what you
Mhm.
want and what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things may look good, the job, the image, he may be handsome, but if
Mhm.
there's other things that you do not like, you can't,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Mhm.
I think that's part of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank you for joining us and sharing your experiences.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can add some of your wedding photos in this episode at the end.
Okay.
You can send me some if you're comfortable with sharing those.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but your story was, I wanted to share your story. I thought it was very romantic and cute. I've been kind of
Yeah.
following, and so it was cute. I
Yeah.
loved it, and I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm happy for you too. So
Thank
when is the wedding day? Have y'all planned that?
See, with me, I got 1,000 projects, and no.
Okay.
I have like a wedding planner book, but no, I'm not in a rush. Like, I
Please
thought,
have a wedding planner. Please.
okay,
Like I don't know what y'all capacity is for people, but yes, like please have a wedding planner. Like when it comes to a wedding, it is so many different ups and downs, loops and turns, and then if you have a wedding planner, it helps it so much more. Like you, especially like if you have a big wedding party like we did in the beginning, we both started off with like 9 people in our wedding each.
wow,
Well, like nine, I had 9 bridesmaids. We had our website, still had a website. He had 9 groomsmen. And baby, by last year and the beginning of this year, that thing trickled on down to 2 or 3.
okay,
And some of them was new people.
okay. Yeah, then booted and rebooted. Okay,
Yeah, because it was like I said, we were literally in a battle. Like it was so many different things that transpired. Like it was people that was with us in the beginning, Callie, that we don't even have relationships with anymore.
that same
Like
will be there in
it,
the
it
end,
it's
honey.
astonishing. It's literally astonishing the weeding that happens.
And
Um
thank God though. Like, it hurts
thank
you in the
definitely
beginning,
thank
but you see why it's
thank
so needed.
yeah, thank God, but it was painful. It was very
Mhm.
painful. But it's also for the good. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us just got to be purified. Like our hearts got to be purified. Like I had a friend who me and her talked almost every day, and once I got engaged, I promise you, I didn't hear from her no more. Like
Mm.
we didn't ever fall out.
True colors
Nothing.
cannot be painted over, honey.
Yeah, it's literally scary. It's
Yeah.
it's astonishing. Like
That it
never.
really exists like that, and how you find out.
Yeah, never a text. How's the dress coming? I got people now that still haven't even reached out, and they were in the wedding
Wow.
and
Yeah.
just ghosted. Disappear. Ain't said your dress was pretty. Ain't said nothing. Just it's crazy. It's bananas. So you have to have God in the process, and you want a wedding planner,
Yeah. See,
and
I
you
don't know
want
if
to.
I
Yeah,
don't want a big wedding anymore. I wanna do something like Martin and Gina type shit if I ever do
I'm a
it.
I'm gonna be real. When you guys decide to do it, which honestly I would say go for it, please do it small. Like if you're not someone that works well with the ups and downs of a lot of things changing and people's personalities and
Mm-mm.
this amount
Snap
of
on
money and
their ass.
Don't do it.
I'm the
Don't do
one to
it.
be like, girl, do you know that was 420 goddamn?
Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no. So
Don't do it. Don't do it. Go somewhere beautiful where y'all want to go. Have y'all maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 people
exactly. And I'm
and
gonna
call
spend
it
the
a day.
money that I
Yeah.
would have spent on the guests and the food
Yes.
on my
Yeah.
favorite singer. I
Yes.
want Jagged Edge or Kiki White artist.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
That's
Do it.
where the
I
money gonna
promise you.
go. Cause the guests that be over there
Yeah.
sometimes with that energy that I don't want to have to monitor
Yes.
nobody's energy at my wedding.
And
You
but
know what I'm
here's the
saying?
thing, you won't even have to really monitor it. Like it's like, first of all, marriage is something that's ordained by God, like God Himself. So when that automatically happens, it automatically separates you anyway. You get what I'm saying? Because now you have two people that are saying, God, we want to do it the right way, and we're becoming one. So automatically there will be things that shift that
Hmm.
you won't know that are about to shift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, if this is this, for anyone that's watching, if that's your person, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna be challenging, but it's gonna work. Y'all gonna stick together. Y'all gonna thug it out. The areas that Chris has weak in, I'm strong in. The areas that I'm strong in, you know what I'm saying? So vice versa.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for your time today. Your story is
Sure.
beautiful. It's very it gives a lot of hope and optimistic I hope to some women that are experiencing a little bit of downtime
Discouragement.
and
Yeah.
discouragement, and it's
Mhm.
there. Love is still there, but love is within you. So
Yes.
you get what you put out,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
thank you for providing us with laughter in your dark times. We did
Oh
not
yeah.
know you was going through those dark times. You
Oh
always
yeah.
funny and
Yeah.
hilarious and stuff. So thanks for that. And again, thanks for being a guest on my show today. And I wish
Absolutely. I
you
enjoyed it.
many, 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 many anniversaries.
Thank you.
And Chris, congratulations on them 4 kids. I'm just
Oh, baby, we gonna have 4 goldfish.
kidding.
4 goldfish. Okay, we're gonna name each one of them
Okay.
because 4 children is not coming up out of here.
You said not no time soon. Maybe one,
No,
two, and we shut
okay.
it down. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Well, congratulations again on your wedding. It was beautiful. Your
Thank
dress,
you.
everything was beautiful. I hope you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
your wedding.
Yes, I did. It was beautiful. Such a breath of fresh air. It was beautiful. He was beautiful. We made it. We made it to the altar. It was beautiful. So I would love to send you a few pictures.
Yeah, please do.
Sure.
Please do. Okay. And thanks for joining us on a D for We show. And please like, subscribe, and share and comment below. And if you like to be a guest on the D for Week show, there's something you'd like to discuss, please let us know and we'll get you started in that process. And again, thanks for joining us and thanks for your time. And congratulations, you guys. Tell Chris I said congratulations as well.
Absolutely. I will. Thank you.
All right. And you have a great night. You're watching the D for the Week show.